Long road of a tall mountain, beating on my heartstrings like I'm King Kong. Ain't got shit on me, now I'm coming down, no say la vie. I hope I got a sled cause it's looking steep. I'm falling, I call you. Don't believe in dying, I just wanna change. What's happening? Sally swore that she was swan swimming. Sally swore that she was swan swimming. She was swan swimming. What's up? Welcome back. Trying to change the way I do these episodes. As you can tell, I don't want it to be a podcast. I can't stress that enough. This video is going to reflect that, and hopefully I just keep building, and 2025 is going to be a great year for me. Hopefully it's a great year for you. I'm excited. Let's get after it. I have a bachelor's in psychology. I have a master's in human development counseling, and I want y'all to learn something from me. Like, why am I sitting here talking to y'all and you can't gain anything from it? So what's a fun, interactive, weird way to do that? Let's go on Reddit. I'm going to go to Reddit/psychology. Men with higher levels of well-being prior to fatherhood are less likely to experience postnatal depression. That seems obvious. Let's go to Reddit because this is just like articles. And how often do you get emergency calls from clients, i.e. middle of the nights, on weekends, etc.? This is actually a great question. More often than not, if someone is calling their therapist in the middle of the night, they need to talk. They need someone to talk to. They need someone who's going to listen to them. It's not so much, hey, like, my life is in danger, let me call my therapist. Usually, like, they call their family or 911. I'm usually the person I get a call, and it's like the after effects of the emergency, and they need to process it before they get to a session. That's the type of stuff I'll get. What is the most rewarding part of being a therapist? Definitely the most rewarding part of being a therapist is talking to people and hearing their story. My partner and I joke about this a lot, but like, I hate when people gossip. I hate when people like, oh my God, why are you talking about people? Let's talk about ideas and concepts. But honestly, I love the tea. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not sitting there like, oh my goodness, like, you're telling me something juicy. But it's more like, I'm curious and I'm interested, and they get to take me into a world that I've never been into before. And it's really cool. And then being able to just help people in that. I really have to like get into this person's world and sit with them with what's going on. So in that sense, it's not so much like I'm reaching down and extending a hand and helping pull them up. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you're in some shit, and it's like, all right, well, regardless of what I'm wearing today, I'm going to be covered in shit a little bit. After time has passed and me and a client get through something kind of together, that's really rewarding, and being able to like build a relationship off of that. Do your clients' problems ever trigger your own traumas, and how do you deal with that? First of all, these are great questions, and I really appreciate it. And for sure, absolutely. Usually, like, when client stuff triggers my stuff, I don't expect it, you know? It's not like the obvious big ballpark stuff like, oh, you had a relationship problem, I had a relationship problem. It comes up out of nowhere. Like most of us, like when things trigger us, it kind of just like sneaks in there, and someone will say a sentence, and the sentence just... Sometimes in session, I have to like regulate. I have to like remind myself like, AJ, what are you here for? Like, hey, return to the room, breathe. Sometimes I need to like adjust in my seat a little bit. It doesn't happen often, but for sure gotta like snap back into it, use some of those skills. That's in the moment. If it's like later, I just need to talk about it, you know? It's the funny thing is like, clients always ask me like, hey, do you have a therapist? Like, how does that work? And it's yes. A lot of therapists have therapists, and we should. It's a community. We're all helping each other. I sometimes may get triggered from a client in session, and then I tell my therapist about that. And then I might trigger my therapist, and then they talk to their therapist about it. And it really encourages like the whole social network of like, let's help each other. I just love that. It's just very communal. So yeah, trigger your own, and how do you deal with that? Yeah, I mean, that's, again, just talking to people and realizing, hey, this is something for me that I need to clean up. Let's not mix it up with what's going on with the client. And that's where you can get some really not so good therapists or not so good client-therapist relationships when you start projecting your own situations upon others. And I don't think any therapist is going to sit there and say that that's never happened before, because it's just part of like having a human experience and being really in a big relationship like that where you're divulging a lot of like heavy information. The key in that is being able to bring the attention to the room. And one thing that's an interesting technique for therapists is using yourself as an example for the client. So for example, let's say a client is talking like really aggressively throughout the session, and I've met with them 3 or 4 times, and every time they talk aggressively, I feel like I need to make space for them in the room. Like I need to shrink and shrivel just so they can continue to be, big and bold. I'm going to bring that into the room, and I'm going to say, hey, just curious, wondering if this is maybe me, but let's see how you sit with it. I noticed that every time you start going and you get aggressive, I wouldn't use the word aggressive, but every time you get going and you're speaking loudly and confidently, it makes me feel like my voice isn't heard. Do other people in your life feel that way? So it's using myself as a mirror to reflect to that person how I feel in this relationship, and it's probably similar to how other people in their life feel. And just allowing that to be brought into the space can help this person realize like, damn, like these things that happen to me, it's not just because of, oh, I was with this person and she's like that, or I was with this person and they're like that. It's, I have some impact in the way things are happening in my life. And sometimes that can be helpful in like, oh, I can change it. It's not just all these other things are fucked up. Like I can do something about this. Yeah. I think I did I'm just going to leave it at that. I think I did pretty good answering some of those questions. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Listen, I made this the other day. I had fun making it. Let's see how this was made. Just covering it in yellow. Thought some brown might be good to kind of balance it out. Drying it off, scraping it against the wall, and I see this face. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm rolling with that. So just kind of like using my style to make out the details in the face, make it super like simple and kind of just like quirky, like how I like making things usually. I liked it, but it didn't feel like it was enough. Like I needed to do more. So say goodbye to Mr. Bleepo. And yeah, at this point I was lost. If you know me, you know I'm lost. Yep. If I start taping and just scrubbing and throwing colors on, I'm full-blown lost. But I have faith in my process, and that's where I start making weird stuff like this and adding I added glasses to just kind of balance it out, and I'm vibing. Yeah, that's how it looks. And I was honestly pleased with it. It's decent. I love the colors. I don't know what it means, but boom. And that's how it was made. Thank you for watching. This is Stay With Me. I plan on having more segments and making this just a continuous ongoing thing and just building, and I need y'all's help. So please like and subscribe. Moriah! This is the first video I filmed when she's actually here. And she will make her appearance time to time. I don't know when exactly, but yeah. Bye.